We would like to start today's video by stating that the drone is, without a doubt, an extraordinary technology. They can literally be anything, much like that famous meme about your mom's friend's son. They can conduct reconnaissance, strike, drop unwanted gifts on servicemen, and, of course, deliver critically important supplies to their comrades. They can operate both independently, performing solo missions, and as a coordinated team. You can see the latter on your screens right now. First, a specialist drone destroyed the shelter of an enemy reconnaissance and sabotage group, thus forcing its members to urgently crawl outside. And then a nearby armored personnel carrier joined in, performing a total cleanliness check of that entire structure. It literally sanitized the area. The result is 10 out of 10 by sterility standards. After such teamwork, it is safe to say that no germs, in the sense of bacteria, infections, and other undesirable elements that might have been hiding there, survived there. This is a perfect example of coordinated work aimed at the complete incapacitation of enemy activity in the area. But behind these drones are not rigid algorithms, but people. That is why tactics are often used that artificial intelligence would consider logically strange or ineffective. However, in the final analysis, it would be surprised by the operator's cunning. It's the same here. First, one drone demonstratively distracts the serviceman, who doesn't even suspect the approach of the second strike apparatus. The soldier notices it only when it is already too late. This proves that human ingenuity and psychological pressure are more powerful than any linear algorithm. Speaking of human cunning, let's look at the next segment, which is a brilliant demonstration of it. The drone seemingly malfunctioned when it tried to incapacitate the motorcycle. It simply didn't detonate on initial contact. Aha! No threat! The servicemen must have thought, and they quickly approached the downed apparatus to inspect it or perhaps retrieve it. And as a result, this tricky maneuver allowed the operators to finish the job not only with the motorcycle but also with 3 servicemen simultaneously. It was a fatal mistake to believe the apparatus had truly malfunctioned. Naivety and curiosity, as we see, often come at too high a cost. Be careful if you see things like this. And next come the segments that require nothing but a sharp eye and pure professionalism. The first strike didn't keep us waiting long. The majority of the pins were knocked down, but as often happens, a few pins still remained on the lane. It's a good thing the operators are given more than just one attempt for a full clearance in this game. However, it is a pity that the pins were set up so far apart. This complicates the process, as many additional pinpoint strikes must be made to incapacitate each target individually. And all this is despite the fact that the first powerful throw took down the majority. This requires not just skill, but patience and methodical effort. Because in this elimination game, the last element must be taken out, and the operators will prove they are capable of it, no matter how many extra throws it takes. And here, it's less about bowling and more about darts, and with a very valuable prize at stake. At the beginning, you saw that a BM-30 Smerch multiple rocket launcher system was detected on the lane. This is a rare and extremely attractive target, as it poses a colossal threat. Therefore, the drone operators concentrated maximally, like experienced players. They took the right stance and began throwing their darts, meaning the unmanned aerial vehicles bombers, time and again, straight for the bullseye. And they kept throwing until only a trace of metal was left of that very target. Thanks to the unused ammunition, the finale happened quite quickly and, most importantly, very spectacularly. This is not just a victory. It is the incapacitation of one of the most high-value units. Such a tournament always ends with complete and unequivocal success for players who know how to hit the target accurately. Today's video truly resembles a real fairground with attractions. There was darts, bowling, and games requiring logic and cunning. And now it's entirely a shooting range, but with an important nuance. At regular fairs, organizers constantly try to make winning realistic, but very difficult. Here, on the contrary, everything is done for the player, everything for his victory. All conditions are created so that all targets at this shooting range are not just hit, but specifically neutralized and destroyed. However, these fairs have a sad, for the adversary peculiarity. Over time, there are fewer and fewer such games. Why? Because the targets, armored, transport, and logistical also decrease in number. But essentially, this was the main strategic calculation. Every destroyed target is a step towards that final shooting range becoming empty. This is the most crucial goal of this methodical daily work. And naturally, as is usually the case on the way out of the fairground, we summarize and collect all the possible prizes that remain. Tell me, how could someone abandon such a seemingly nice car? Could have still been useful. But who are we, these drone operators, to refuse such a gift that puts itself up for destruction? And you know, this whole situation reminds me of the South Korean series, Squid Game. There, they also used seemingly childish, innocent games, hide and seek, the glass bridge, but they were just a facade that brutally eliminated people for losing, if you understand what I mean. It's the same here. The associations are with games you would never think of in relation to the real situation, but they all lead to one single shared outcome. All these actions are not a desire or a whim. They are a necessity. People were once forced to play the occupier's game on their terms, merely trying to survive. This was a game where you had absolutely no chance of an honest win. However, everything has fundamentally changed now. And now Ukrainian military specialists are setting the rules. They dictate the conditions under which this final round takes place. And here, the fairground rule is indeed at work, but somewhat harsher. Because for those who came with invading intentions, there is no chance whatsoever of winning. There is only a clear, inevitable finale, and it arrives quickly and from the air. Thank you for watching us. If you enjoyed the video, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. See you next time.